Unpopular take. I'm rooting for Russia.
I mean,
Red Army, baby.
I don't really like.
I don't really give a shit.
I was like, I don't really like either sides because, like, so Putin is like he's made himself president for life, basically. Like, there was this guy named
fucking dope
Medvedev, I think, that was his predecessor, and then there's this other guy named Boris Yelkin. I forget.
Whacked them both.
I don't think he whacked both of them, but I know that he's like sandwiched in between the two of them. And then, like, when one of them died, I think it was Medvedev. He fucking just was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be president for life.
It's my job now."
Yeah, like he just didn't care. So like he's a belligerent, and like he's hiring.
Fucking Donnie T should have done that, dude. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon.
Fucking gas prices is so good.
You know what's really fucking strange is I've been watching NASCAR more than anything else.
Hell yeah,
lately.
dude. You watched Daytona?
I did. I watched it.
I'm salty. I missed it because I actually do normally watch that every year.
I watched whatever the California was on
Pepsi,
Sunday.
Whatever, fuck.
Yeah, and I was pissed that Joey Logano fucking blew the lead.
My grandma was pissed that some rookie won the Daytona. She's like, all these guys been racing for years trying to get it, and some new guy comes in. I'm like,
I thought you were
cares?
I thought you were going to talk about Bubba Wallace because apparently Bubba Wallace brushed someone during the Daytona 500.
This goddamn beep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody was like normally people stand up and cheer when there's like a crash, and everybody was like,
They just stand up, fucking, from the salute.
Yeah. They had no, so like the only part about Putin that like kind of worries me is that there's this demographic of I guess Russians, but they're like partisan Russians, like they're they don't like claim to be like, it's like Dagestan, where like Dagestani like Khabib Nurmagomedov or whatever his name is,
like just neutral Russia.
It's not even neutral Russia, it's just like it's like an ethnic like moniker as opposed to like a country moniker. Yeah, you want some of that? Yeah, go crazy.
Some of that loud. You are the loud Cheyenne.
But yeah, so like he hired all these like Chechens that, if you know anything about Chechens, they hate Russia because back in the 90s there was this fight that happened between the Russian army and a bunch of like Chechen rebels, and the Russian army got like brutally slaughtered by the Chechens got brutally slaughtered by the Russians, and they made a video of it. It was one of the earliest gore videos that I ever saw, and it is brutal. I'll leave it at that. It was brutal. They decapitated people where they deliberately dull the knives so that it would be slower and more painful, and you could hear them like gurgling and trying to like scream. And it's like,
what year was this?
Like the early, like I think like early 2000s or late 90s.
Okay.
One of the two.
This was like 70s or 80s or something. Like film, like old school grainy.
No, it's not. It's not
gore.
like it's not Africa Adida. No, don't worry. We can watch the Mondo Kane series for that could be the next one. But yeah, so the three I brought to the table today are Dread, The Lodge, and Akira. So,
I wasn't done with Russia. My one beef is now there's talks about, which it's doink. It's not like important world shit, but they're talking about banning Russians from the CHL, and even talking about the NHL making. I don't know if they're talking about in the NHL, but the CHL, which I don't even know what that is. I think it's the juniors league or something in Canada.
Okay.
It's a hockey thing though.
It's like D3, right?
No, it's like fucking NHL prospect league.
Oh,
like
okay.
The fucking,
isn't that what D3 means?
No, Division 3 is like the lowest level of NCAA.
That shows how much I
like when I
fucking
played
know.
high school, we were D3 because we fucking stunk. No, we were good in D3, but
Free dicks.
Play some of the D1 teams get fucking pumped. But
D1 inch. Fulton.
No, but they're talking about like banning Russian players, and there's people in the comments like, yeah, they should, blah blah blah. This is a war, but like, I'm just like some 16-year-old kid trying to make the show. Like, he doesn't fucking have any say in what Putin's doing. Like, this is like Japanese internment camp level talk that we're talking about. And it's just like,
exactly.
Are you fucking retarded, for lack of a better term? Like, it wasn't just one person in the comment. Like, there was tons of people in the comments being like, yeah, we should. Like, this is the cost of fucking war or whatever the fuck they're saying. Like, and there is other people on the other side saying like, these kids just want to play hockey. Like, they're not. And it's the same thing with the NHL. Like, saying like Ovechkin should get sent home. And like,
what's that gonna do? Like, what does that accomplish?
It's fucking like, dude, I want Ovi to break the goal record. Like, this is where my issue lies with international conflict. They're affecting hockey.
I hate Sid the Kid, but I want him to get to. He got to 500 in the fucking Wells Fargo Center, so fuck it.
He's not Russian.
No, he's not. He's just a fucking asshole.
He's all right. He's a handsome fella, but no, I don't even really watch hockey anymore. It's just like, it's dumb when it gets. I don't know. It's the same. I felt the same way when they're talking about shutting down next year's World Junior Cup for COVID. It's like, how
do you even know that's going to be?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Like, do you really think these Russian juniors hockey players are like international spies or something? Like, is that the angle we're taking? Like,
I mean, it's like not implausible to think that, but I think it's just more like okay, well, like this is our team and you're going to the fucking gulags. Like it's like fuck you. Like you remember when there was that in Nice, France, whatever the country, there was like that Muslim that drove the truck through the crowd of people. Now, unfortunate.
That's my argument for gun control.
Yeah, right.
It's like fucking
four-wheel drive is more effective.
Yeah, like
wider range.
But the semi-automatic mags. Dude.
Yeah, but it's fully automatic transmission.
I mean, a manual. Broke my clutch, dude.
But yeah, they remember Pierre Eduardo Belmar was on the Flyers. That was when that attack happened. And the fucking...
It's not how you say it.
Pierre Eduardo Belmar?
It was something...
Pierre Eduardo Belmar.
It was not Eduardo.
It was.
No, it wasn't. Definitely not.
I'm telling
Look that
you.
up, Jamie. Definitely wasn't Eduardo.
Edward.
Yeah.
Fucking
Spanish or
whatever.
something.
It's got a fucking slash over
He's
top.
a fucking French Fanuc. Who cares?
But anyway.
Freedom fries!
But yeah, they asked him, like, the Flyers do that, like, thing in between the intermissions where they're like, oh, well, like, here's Pierre-Edouard Belmar's fucking 2 cents on the Nice attack. And it was like...
It wasn't good.
It was sad.
Hopefully
we
get pucks deep and pucks on that.
It's like, why are you interviewing him? He's like supposed to be focused on the game. Like, don't fucking ask him like, hey, your family might have died. Like, hey, did you know any of those people?
That was actually my third cousin, but hopefully we can do good on the penalty kill tonight.
Yeah, get a few Bardowskis, go deep, boys.
Oh my god, I'm snorting up a storm today.
Yeah, it started.
I digress.
It's
fucked.
Like 2014. It was like this, and then since then the tensions have been high. And between 2014 and now, I know that Putin has tried to take over Georgia again, and I don't know why. I don't know what strategy that has. It's just a flex, honestly. But like, he's been kind of like pushing, and then he's like, he's finally getting to a point where he's like, all right, I'm just going to invade Crimea and like other parts of Ukraine, and like. I don't think the end game is that he wants Ukraine. I think he just wants to prove A, that he can, and B, that like that port.
He's got a big penis.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like fucking letting a toddler fucking run wild until he actually does something stupid and puts the fork in the electrical outlet, and then you got
where my conspiracy mind goes is, did that level come out before or after that?
Well, it came out before.
Predictive programming, dude.
I don't think it was
Simpsons. Watch it.
I don't think it was predictive programming because I'm fairly certain that level was based on an actual situation that happened in Russia in like 2005.
Okay.
But I might be confusing it with that Playhouse thing because there was like that Playhouse. They fucking all the I want to say Serbian Muslims took over. That was a fucked up one. They had a terrorist attack that happened at some playhouse in Russia somewhere, and these fucking rebels went in. There was like a bunch of women in there too, and the women were basically used as like cannon fodder.
Flashlights.
No, cannon. Like literally, they're strapped fucking claymores and C4 to the ladies and sent them in first, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna just detonate one of these ladies, and then the rest of them are going to be like, we're just going to put them near the hostages. And then with like slowly one by one, like, if there was like a man or someone was getting uppity, they would just execute him. And then like, oh, well,
as they should.
They did that. So we're going to kill 5 more of them. And like, it was like a huge standoff. And then what I think ultimately happened was the police, the Spetsnaz or however you say it, is, they gassed it. They put not nerve agent, but like sleeping gas or whatever in there, and they fucking knocked them out. But like, yeah,
they went in and shot them all, or
they went in and shot them all. There's a couple that had gas masks and fucking actually fought back. So like, yeah, it was
Gangster.
a mess. It was a mess. But there's an airport one too that I think that level's based on. I could be confusing it with just like a hostage situation though. Like
you said Claymore, and it reminded me of one of the movies I just watched called Nobody on HBO. It's actually pretty good.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. Did you saw the movie, or you
no,
saw
I just saw the preview.
It was good. It was kind of like a shoot 'em up, fucking, action. But when you said the Claymore, the one scene towards the end, he like runs towards an enemy with a fucking Claymore strapped to like a riot shield.
Okay.
and blows the guy up and gets blown back like 10 feet, but he's like,
not how
okay.
Claymores work.
I was literally
It's not
like,
how
he would
Claymores
like
work.
just blew up an entire city block, like
With a claymore? A single claymore?
or whatever the fuck kind of bomb it was. But I just didn't think that. No, he had a pin attached to his fucking.
That's a grenade then.
No, it wasn't a grenade. It was a big square, like rectangle,
C4?
like a mine or a fucking C4 or something. He had held it through a different meeting, and he was like, if I fucking die, then I pull the string. Da da da. So it was a big fucking like
Brick.
yeah, like
Okay.
it would fuck some shit up.
Right
But
on.
he just a riot shield somehow like.
Well, because I was
I
going
was
to
just like, that's not believable. Like, he'd be fucking dead. Like,
claymores are a directional mine, so they're meant so that you can put them in front of you. And what they do is they have a small amount of like compound explosive in them, but they have ball bearings, and the ball bearings are what's supposed to fuck you up. Like, it's not like it just like is like the same as a shotgun.
yeah, I don't think it was an actual claymore. 'Cause
Yeah.
those are the ones that are set off by motion or whatever, right?
Yeah, they have a motion detector.
He must have had like a fucking.
Like it's probably like a C4 compound explosive or something like that. If it had a pin, he probably put like, or at least this is how my brain would think, is there's some kind of like primer detonator thing that was triggered by that. So like when you pull the pin on a grenade, what you're doing is there's like a thing that's like a flint in there, and there's a fuse, and all the grenade really is just like a metal ball with a bunch of fucking explosive in it. And what it'll
that
do,
small detonations triggers the bigger one.
it's not that it triggers a bigger one. What you're doing is like there's obviously different varieties of grenade, but like a regular fragmentation grenade is just meant to like blow up, and all the shrapnel is supposed to hurt you, not the explosion itself. It's the shrapnel that's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But that like when you're pulling the pin, you're basically just igniting a fuse. It's like just a real rudimentary. It's like a firework. It's like the same principle as an M80, but like you put an M80 in a soda can. If there's enough like force, it will blow the soda can at, and all these little pieces of metal will fuck you up. Like it's just that's why like I was like, oh, Claymore, that actually makes sense if you put it on a riot shield and run towards someone, like, you know, because it's a directional thing. Like,
No, it had a pin. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to Google here what type of bomb it was, but I'm fucking bombing at doing that.
compound
so-
H,
Yeah,
preparation
It's not
H.
even showing up like anything.
But-
Everyone's like, the movie Nobody bombed. Like, there's nothing about fucking bombs.
Ugh.
What are you gonna do? Watch the movie and you can fucking figure out what kind of fucking bomb it
I
is.
mean,
you
it
might
looked,
know.
it looked interesting enough that, like, I just haven't gotten around to it. What's it
Yeah.
on, Hulu?
Max, HBO Max.
Oh, HBO Max. I've seen it on Prime advertised, so it might be on there. But like, I mean, if it's like $2, I'll pay for it. I don't care. I watched.
I don't know if I'd pay for it.
I watched Dread though. That's a.
I've never seen Dread.
Oh, you hearted it though. I thought you have seen it.
No, I just being
hearted it.
polite.
Oh, okay.
Didn't
Fuck
want
it.
to leave you on red.
Oh well, like that was like a really good action movie too. That's on Hulu right now. There's also the original Judge Dredd with fucking Sylvester Stallone and fucking what's Rob Schneider? Rob Schneider's in it.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, I'm Rob Schneider and I'm a fag.
Is that a real quote?
No, it's from South Park. The Rob Schneider is a carrot, and then it's like it just devolves into like Rob Schneider is rated
You can
PG-13.
do it.
Yeah,
Every fucking
cut his
Sandler movie.
fucking head off. No, that Dredd was the original Judge Dredd is a Sylvester Stallone movie where it's like based on a comic book, but it's like a dystopian future where everybody lives in like these mega cities and they're in tenement blocks, and the tenement blocks are like their own communities, but you can walk freely throughout the city or whatever. So like they have these things called block riots, and they're like where they're gangs that occupy each of these individual buildings will like fight and bicker with one another and try to run each other out for like territory reasons. And these guys that are like the police, but they're also like they transcend the law of like the police, where the police are just there to like kind of mitigate crime till they can get to a judge. They just decided that the judges are now going to be the cops, so they give judges guns, and they're like, you have the right to execute on site, basically.
Jesus Christ.
So, well, yeah, it's like supposed to be like super
Judge, jury, and executioner.
yeah, that's exactly it. It's like supposed to be very dystopian, but the one for like I used to watch the original Judge Dredd with my mom because my mom wanted to be a real judge in real life, and she was like,
You wanted to be a real Judge Dredd.
yeah, she wanted to be a real Judge Dredd. She wanted a
fucking-
motorcycle and spandex, and you want to ride around with fucking football gear on.
Hell
like,
yeah, dude.
So she used to watch it and be like, "This is fucking hilarious," and I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly it." It's like it's cartoonish, and she's like, "Yeah, exactly." It's like tongue in cheek. So like, but the new one is just called Dread, and it's very like same tone but like just better done, and the action sequences are like fucking awesome. The drug that they use is this one drug that's I think it's called like slow-mo or something like that, but you take an inhaler and you hit it and it slows time down. So the way that like, because these tenement blocks are like fucking huge, the way that they fucking kill people, the gang does to like ultimately torture them, is they make you take a hit of it so your perception slows down and then throw you off the top floor balcony.
Oh my God,
so you can
dude.
watch yourself fall in slow motion. Oh dude, it's fucking brutal, but it is such a good movie, and it's like so well like shot and choreographed and everything. There's like a lot of like gunfights that are just like, they seem very like rudimentary or like mundane, but like the way that it's like cut together, it looks very visually interesting. So like, yeah.
What's that one on?
I think it's on Hulu. Both of them I'm fairly certain are on Hulu. But yeah, Dredd and Judge Dredd.
I don't have Hulu Premium, so we get hit with those fucking 2-minute ads every fucking 30 minutes.
I don't mind.
I don't mind to get a little pee break.
Yeah, you get a little pee break.
Fucking M&Ms from the kitchen.
Let
How we
fucking
doing?
Gusto out.
Yeah. Let him eat some rabbit turds and take a fat dump. Bro,
dude,
he broke a fucking world record the other day. Shout out to Gus. So her dad, Tina's dad let him out in the morning. He took 3 dumps, 3 normal-sized dumps. I let him out at like noon. 3 more normal-sized dumps. And I let him out before dinner, another dump. Let him out after dinner, another dump. And then before bed, another dump. That's 9 solid, normal-sized dumps in a day. It wasn't diarrhea. It wasn't nothing. I don't know what the fuck. He's been on like muscle relaxers and shit because he's got back problems.
He's constipated.
So he ran out of his script, so he's like off. He's like no meds now. So like I don't know if it was just all the backup from that. Like no wonder his back hurts. He's got fucking 9 dumps fucking hiding up there.
Your dog was renting and train spotting when he's walking, and he realized he's like, heroin makes you constipated, and I haven't had a hit in 2 days. Now I'm unconstipated, and he has to like run it. That's like the toilet scene from. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Train Spotting. Oh, dude, that's a great movie. It's about heroin.
I need to start a fucking list.
Ewan McGregor, Ewan Bremner, John Carlyle. Like they're all European actors, but they're all really like Ewan McGregor and Ewan Bremner were in this movie, and then both of them were in Black Hawk Down, and like they have American accents in that movie. Like you know. Yeah. Like real good fucking cast though. Dan Carlyle is in the Full Monty. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Full Monty is about Scottish people. Their town runs out of money and like their factory shuts down, so everybody's unemployed. And this guy has a kid, and he's trying to like keep his relationship together so he can stay with his kid. The only way that they figure out how to like generate money is by like all the men in town are going to start doing like burlesque. So they do this routine called the Full Monty where they all go in front of people at bars and like take all their clothes off and dance and like.
We should try that. Maybe we'll get more viewers.
Bro, yeah, we should. Dude, it's a fucking hilarious fucking movie. Yeah. It's a fucking hilarious movie, though. It's really fucking funny. You gotta watch it with subtitles, though, because they're Scottish as fuck.
Yeah, I don't mind it. The Vivitch, the fucking accent was like British and fucking old-timey or whatever.
Old English. Yeah, that's what it is.
I can deal with some Scottish, but fucking...
The Lodge, though. How'd you like The Lodge?
It was good and creepy, but I don't know. The ending was just too fucking. I'm a sap. I like them to wrap it up for me. I don't want to be left open to interpretation. I want to see the people die. I don't want to fucking think they died.
That's just it. Like that was like one of those perfect.
Even
ones.
Tina was like, "What did you want? You wanted to see her fucking shoot the kids and then herself?" I'm like, "Yes, that would have wrapped it up with a nice bow for me. I know it happened." Like,
but you like Scorsese movies, so you need that. Like that's like because there's no stone left unturned in a Scorsese movie. I prefer it. Yeah, like it's like
or
it
it could have been like a little more creepy. Like she just put the tape on their mouths and it's like. It just fucking gave me a limp penis.
Did you get like the implication that like she was the one that was like the dad didn't save her from the cult, that she was the one that like did some stuff to the cult, like basically was like the helper or whatever, and like help facilitate all of the mass suicide or whatever that they did?
Yeah, she was fucked, but then she didn't kill herself.
Well, that's just it. It's like she's perpetuating it. So it's like the kids are already gonna die like afterwards. She's probably not gonna kill herself. She's probably gonna find another patsy to do this.
It was a good twist, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
Fuck spoiler alerts. Watch the fucking movie before I fucking talk about it. You should be in the fucking know if you're watching this podcast. Do your fucking homework.
No, but it was a good twist. I won't even say it. The twist though was good, where it was like you didn't know if it was them fucking with her or her being mentally insane, and then like you find out and you're like, oh shit, like that's pretty fucked up.
Those kids are fucking assholes.
Yeah, spoiler.
No, like I said, like I don't care about talking about this movie because they should have seen it already. It's been out for 4 years now.
Oh really? I thought it was new. I didn't even know.
No, it's from 2018.
All right, yeah, fuck it then. Yeah, the kids were fucking little bastards. I thought the killing the dog was just too far.
Yeah, like.
Way too far. It's not a prank anymore.
I just love that the kid, like, it's like it just escalates because you're like, because kind of like the thing that made me think about this movie in the context of the Vivitch was where we were talking about like how there's that moment where the movie kind of winks at you where the kid's staring at his sister's tits, and then like the kid in this is staring at the dad's girlfriend's tits, or like in the shower, and she's like, do you want to talk about the shower? Like, she just doesn't want to have the conversation, but just like forces it in a way where it's like, you're not going to resolve this issue with this kid. Like, you just kind kind of pretend like nothing happened, and then like
the kid and the stepmom start banging.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping was going to start happening.
That's why I didn't like the movie.
There was no incest. What the fuck kind of porn is this?
2-hour-long porn with no fuck scene. I'm still hard.
So I just have to describe all.
I jerked off when she shot the dad.
That was a PG porno. It didn't. Yeah, nothing went.
Not enough dog.
This guy fucks dogs.
Bert fucks dogs.
Oh, it smells like
And
shit.
Bert smells like shit.
I actually ended up listening to a Two Bears, One Cave the other day where Segura was trying to get Bert to fight Israel Adesanya.
That one was great.
That was such a good episode.
I listen like every week. That's like my go-to podcast. I always they drop new episodes I think every Monday.
Yeah.
So when I'm working, I work Wednesday through fucking Sunday. So when I go back to work Wednesday, I always throw it on. I listen like every week. But that whole segment was fucking.
That was so brilliant.
It was so good. And Bert was like kept like flip-flopping. He's like, oh no, I think I could, and then he'd be like, oh, he would fuck me up so bad, and then he'd I might get him with a shot, and he's like, nah, he would fucking kill me. He was just doubting himself so hard, which he should.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. It's a professional fighter that is like all he does is train and fight and eat and sleep. Like that's literally what he does. That's all. Like, play fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever the fuck he like. I don't know. Israel's the one that he's like he does like the fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender shit.
I know he does like the dance in the fucking cage, style bender.
Yeah,
Penis bender.
Yeah, me on the couch.
Total sidebar, but on Hulu with the ads, it's me, Tina, and her dad watching a movie, and this ad comes on. I think we were watching fucking the Road to Perdition or something like that.
Good movie.
Awesome movie, but fucking, or it's just called Road to Perdition, sorry. But there's a fucking 2-minute ad for a Peyronie's medication, and it just has like bent carrots, just like going on the screen.
And they're like falling all over.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah, they used to play that during football.
And her dad was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I didn't know there was a medication for this one. He's like, "I didn't know about Peyronie's until this commercial." Like, I was like, "Yeah, I knew about it when I was a kid. My grandma told me that Bill Clinton had Peyronie's disease."
Well, you've heard the bonfire bit that they do, right? Where it's like all the Philly comics doing because there's like the Peyronie's ad that they play locally. There's also the one for gynecomastia, and it's like the chick with the real,
shout out to me.
the chick with the real thick South Philly accent, where she's like,
"Yeah, you got man tits, dude."
No, she's like,
"Why don't you eat some more hoagies?"
Well, it's like a dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard about this thing on radio called gynecomastia," and then you hear this chick voice, and she goes, "It's basically the medical term for moobs." It's just so local.
Jake Seymour enters frame. His big puffy nipples.
Yeah, this was on the
got gynecomastia from eating too many hoagies. Got big puffy tits, dude. Go Birds.
Yeah, go Birds.
I just wear football jerseys year round, cover up my moobs.
Yeah, right here. This is it.
Is this the ad or the...
Yeah, this is the ad.
And now a brief word from Shane Gillis.
I thought it was like a real ad.
I'm here to talk to you about something that
Well,
sucks
she
bad.
sounds exactly like this.
Do you or a loved one suffer from Peyronie's? You might be asking yourself, what's Peyronie's? It's when your donger looks like one of those inflatable things outside the car dealership, like Barbera's the Best up on the boulevard. Peyronie's disease is scar tissue inside the penis that causes curved, painful boners. If your boner hurts, you probably have Peyronie's. But don't worry, Peyronie's affects tons of dudes. Here are a few testimonials from guys who got mangled dongs. This is Shane from Roxborough.
I mean, the day I got my Peyronie's, I was just driving home, regular day of work. I was, stuck in traffic on 76, just daydreaming, thinking about Keith Primo scoring on a Pico power play for a tasty cakes, nothing unusual. Listening to Bonfire, I heard them talking about this dude named Roman Palumbo. So I Google him, check him out, and turns out he was pretty hot. And I didn't know I had those types of feelings. So I started getting a boner.
The bees are on.
And before this, I wasn't too
So
religious,
good.
but my one uncle Steve told me that if I ever turned gay, he would come down from heaven and bend my dick. And next thing I know, I'm sitting in traffic with the hardest boner I've ever had, bent under the pressure of my Carhartt, right against my dungarees. It bent so hard that now I got Peyronie's. And now I can't even go down to a Wawa because all the guys know about it. They make fun of me. Every time I order a hoagie, they just give me a bent hoagie. I said, "Yo, will you toast my hoagie?" They're like, "No, we'll give you a bent hoagie, you fucking weirdo. Get out of here with your gay Peyronie's." So yeah, Peyronie's isn't fun. It's not a joke.
Beezer from South Philly.
Yo, it's me, Beezer. So last year, I finally graduated from the Lincoln Tech University School with a degree in cars and shit. To celebrate, it's me and my boy Ed Reynolds. We get down 2 Street to have some sweet-ass nail gun fight. We get down there, fucking Eddie gets all nutty and shit, starts firing off like 6 framing nails right in my dick and balls region. And he ain't using no Black & Decker pussy pump like those retards in local 138 use. I'm talking brand new DeWalt 20 volt, right at it. So I got on urgent care, and the black chick working's like, yo, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad's your dick bent pain? And I'm like, 69, bitch, what's up? And she's like, you got Peyronie's disease. And I was like, first off, I ain't got no gay homo disease, all right? I got Irish weekend coming up in 2 days, and I ain't missing it for this made-up shit. And she's like, no, it's a real disease. It's called Peyronie's. And I was like, do I get Percocet for it? And she's like, no. And I'm like, fuck you.
Tell men like this.
I'm like, fuck you.
I'm like, fuck
is
you.
Is the Moobs ad real?
Yeah, the Moobs ad's
Are they
real.
making fun of that with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Moobs
I thought
ad
it was the other way around.
No, the Peyronie's disease and the Moobs ad, they both have that same chick. She's just like, yeah, you might have a painful boner, and it's like really
Painful
hard.
erection.
Yeah, painful erection. But then like I was listening to the Eagles game on the way to work this season. Like it must have been like the first or second game they played. I'm listening to the first quarter, and there's just like this like that same like lilting music in the background. It's just like, hi.
You have
I'm
big pepperoni nipples.
I'm Janine, and I was wondering if you've ever heard of a disease called gynecomastia. And then this guy pops in, and it's like, yeah, gynecomastia. Isn't that like that disease where men have like really large engorged chests? And she's like, it basically means you have noobs. Like, it's just like so matter of fact with a fucking Delco accent.
Oh my god. Fucking
Yeah.
I feel lightheaded from that. I was just daydreaming about Keith Primo scoring a power play, going to the fucking Pico power play in case Tasty
For a case of Tasty Cakes.
Now I'm hard.
My uncle said he come
God,
down
dude.
from heaven. And
Keith Primo.
Keith Primo.
Pico power play. Dude, that was fucking...
You know what's fucked up? I didn't know this until Flyers played the fucking Pens the other day, but they don't have the Pico power play in fucking Pittsburgh. Same fucking state. I guess they don't
It's
have...
called something else. It's like the PG&E power play or
Yeah,
something. It's a
that's
different
fucking
power company.
Stupid. No, it's Pennsylvania Energy Company, and Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania. Get your shit together, Penguins. You heard me, Steve.
Why would they also have the Pico? It wouldn't make sense.
Pennsylvania Energy Company. Pittsburgh is in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
but why would they do the same shtick?
It's because it's fucking... you're just advertising. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, they're advertising to another company because their power play is called something else.
I know, but what I'm saying is that maybe you could leech... I mean, they probably have an entirely different power and water
but here's
company
my
there.
argument. If they did have the Pico, you'd be like, those fucking Penguin fags fucking stole our power play things. Like,
No, I wouldn't. I would just be like, hey, Penguins
I
fucking
respect
suck.
Pennsylvania as a state.
I don't respect Pennsylvania as a state. That's why I'm like, there's morals. The line that they decided to draw was on the Pico power play.
I don't think they did. I don't think it was a fucking moral thing.
It was a moral
No,
thing.
I think the Flyers already had it, and they were like, "Oh, they don't want to advertise with us. We're gonna fucking advertise with PG&E or whatever the fucking PE&G, fucking Peg, bend over, stupid."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All right, so let's talk about movies some more. I watched Akira. Have you ever heard of that movie?
No.
All right, so back.
I'm on tonight and my hips don't lie.
No, that's Shakira.
Oh, okay.
No, Akira is a Japanese. It's like one of the first anime movies that was like widely made, and I hate anime. I could go off for like an entire day about how much I hate anime. It's way too nuanced and like there's just too
I
much.
like the one movie Spirited Away.
Spirited Away is
I don't know
fine.
if that's like anime.
That is.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. Like that's what this kind of is, but like
The
it's
only
like,
thing that I like about anime, I'm getting some fucking feedback here. The only thing that I like is like the scenery or whatever. The backgrounds are very detailed. That's like one of the things it has going for it. We're good.
No, it is. It's very like anime is very detail oriented, and I'll give them that. It's like very beautifully artistically done, and I understand that Japanese people take very much pride in their work and their craftsmanship. So it's like it translates like that on its own. Like Japanese horror translates way better than anime to me, just because I know how diligent they are on like the special effects and the gore and stuff like that. So there's like a whole fucking subgenre of Japanese horror movies that I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. There's one called Ichi the Killer. Check it out. It's a fucking awesome movie. It's very fucking morbid. And like Koreans too, like, but like we're talking about anime, so like China, there's
Fucking
Chinese.
Squid Games.
Well, yeah.
We talked about
fucking
that already.
Train to Boot or fucking whatever. Anyway,
You see the one called Level?
yeah, that's from Mexico though.
I
I
think you
think.
might have recommended
Or
that to me.
Spain. Yeah, it's like the fucking elevator
That
in the
was
middle.
fucking creepy.
Yeah, it was a pretty
It was
good movie.
good.
I like that chick though. That chick's fucking wild. And she's like
Eating everyone.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Fucking excellent unhinged.
The
prison.
ending sucked where the
Yeah.
the little girl got like ascended into space or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been funny though.
It's
like
fucking scientific term for moobs.
I just scientific term for space, you know, black sky.
I didn't mean to cut you. Which anime were you talking about?
Akira. I mean, it's like it's very detail oriented, and I like that. And this is one of those movies where this is like normie tier anime. Like if you talk to any anime fan, they're like, yeah, you just found Akira.
It's kind of where I would put Spirited Away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really an anime dude, but I like that movie. So.
I forget the name of the studio, but there's like another one that same Spirited Away studio made called Princess Mononoke, and that's like Jamie's favorite fucking movie. Like it's I know it's good. It's a great fucking.
It's not your cup of tea.
Just not my cup of tea. But it's because anime is a very nuanced thing, and it's like I don't have the care to like learn about Japanese culture enough to understand what's going on for the bulk of what anime is.
So you're a racist.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should have dropped more. But no, it's just there's like
this podcast sponsored by Nagasaki.
There's just like so much like subtlety to it. There's so much subtext that it's like ingrained in. Like I like Russian films. Like I like Sergei Eisenstein because
we're boycotting those now.
Well, you boycott anything that has fucking cross-cutting involved in it then, because Sergei Eisenstein invented it back in like the early 1900s. Cross-cutting is just when you have like an A shot and a B shot, and it's like a conversation happening where it's independent of one another. So it's like, you know, camera A, camera B, you know, and like, you know, I'm talking now, the camera's on you, whatever. So Sergei
fucking film nerd, bunch of crap.
This guy named Sergei Eisenstein was like a drunkard, and he was making movies for the like fucking whatever
so he was a
regime.
Russian.
Yeah, so he was drunk and making these movies, and he thought that when you had film strips, you'd edit on these flatbed editors, and like your film strip has like perforation in the side. He kind of like in his drunken mind was like, Ivan. Film look like train tracks, and like when I put film onto editor, you can ram film together like train car and make new idea. And like that's literally how editing was, like cross-cutting was born. Literally, this drunk guy just thought that the fucking film looked cool, ramming it together on the editor, and was like, oh yeah, that actually
kind of works.
It gives me an idea because it gives you like a dynamic perspective, and it was like something that was like unheard of. It was like 1918, 1920, something like that. Yeah. There was also this other guy, Sergei Mikhailovich Prudin-Gorsky, who was the godfather of color photography. He invented it in like the 1860s before anybody had figured out really like anything about like color photography. What he would do is he'd take multiple exposures of the same image, but when you color time everything, it's like the speed in which you put it through, and he would add dyes at different color timing intervals so that like one would come out like it would be the same picture 4 times. So one would be black and white, one would be slightly red, one would be slightly yellow, and one would be slightly green, and then he would lay all of them together as a composite, and it would create a color image. And this was like 1860s. They didn't invent like outright color photography till like the early 1900s. Like the first
filter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This dude, he would like walk around Siberia. I have photos of him. Like I'll post a couple. There's really good ones on my laptop that I have of him. Like, because there's just like it's like so archaic, but like it's like so it looks crystal clear because he knew what he was doing. And like I don't know,
there's like a real talent there.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at though is that like I could dork out all day about Russian filmmaking and like photography and stuff like that because I'm interested in the culture. Whereas Japan, I could give 2 fucks. They're subservient and like they really don't interest me. They just copy.
They're subservient.
They're very like they're very like. I
misinterpreted that word. For a second, I thought you meant like they're like
obedient.
No,
like,
I thought you meant like they're like like they're like lesser people or something.
Oh no,
like
well,
they're fucking
sort of. They kind of are because there's like people that are very westernized over there. But what they do is they just take Western ideals and just make them Japanese. So like all of like the pop stuff that you see is like from the 80s, like translated over there, and now it's like all of like they have like metal bands and punk bands and stuff like that, but there's just like always like a little slight Japanese twist to it where you're like, okay, like Babymetal. Everybody knows Babymetal. They were like the 4 little fucking 8-year-old girls that made a metal band, and they like would sell out fucking arenas over there. Dude, they're like multimillionaires and they're not even 18 yet. Like I think they're maybe like in high school now, like freshmen in high school probably. But like sure, yeah, no, fucking yeah, like so just the Japanese filmmaking is like it's never really struck me too much. Like Kurosawa was fine, but like nothing really has jumped out at me. But like Akira, when I was like back in the day, Yussel insisted on fucking making me watch this movie.
Foreigner.
Yeah,
Suggesting
another
films.
foreign Eastern European. But he insisted on me watching Akira, and I watched it and I liked it, and I was like, I didn't think I could like anime like this, and then I saw it was on Hulu, so I rewatched it again. But he gave me the one that had the Japanese and it's subtitled. This one was just dubbed over.
I kind of prefer dubbed.
I could care less either way. I don't mind reading.
Easier.
Yeah, it is. I like hearing like the inflection though, because I kind of get that. But like with anime, it doesn't really matter because you're watching a cartoon anyway. It could be any fucking language. Like it could be fucking fucking Gaelic.
I don't mind. Like I watched the whole. It was like a World War II movie where it was all in German.
Oh no way! Which one?
It was the one where Hitler was like in the bunker and he was freaking out. I forget what it was called.
Hitler's Last Days or
something
what?
like
that. I know what you're talking. I know
it's
exactly.
Like all in German, and you read the whole time. But like, I didn't mind it, so I can totally. I would watch either version. I want to check out Akira now, though. What's the?
It's on Hulu.
What's the? Whatchamacallit? The plot.
Oh, okay. So,
no spoilers, please.
No, well, we're on the subject. I'll just leave it at this because it's a very complex film. So there's like not much I can give away because it's probably going to take you like 2 tries to actually like understand it, or like I look up on Wikipedia what's going on sometimes because like there is stuff that you need to kind of.
I always do that, and then I fucking spoil shit for myself.
Just go
I'm
paragraph
like,
by
fuck.
paragraph. They have it like just find like literally to the point of what you're seeing, and then just like shut it off until it doesn't make sense anymore. But with this one. It's supposed to be the distant future because this was made in the 80s, I think. The distant future of 2019, where society has become so like repugnant that it like everybody is just given up, and like people are now like
sounds about right.
Yeah, like they're like part of these like religious cults that like they kind of like worship like demigods, like people that are like on Earth, and then some people are like resistant to that. But then there's like this whole government overreach thing where they're trying to protect the people from something, but the people want to know what it is, but the government really doesn't know what it is. So like, and like you'll understand the more you see it. But then there's like this whole like other 2 subplots going on where there's these kids that are like part of this gang where they're like the future, it's like everything's like destitute, so like they just use like the streets of Tokyo, or it's like a super city now. They use the streets of Tokyo to have these like gang warfare like contests where they ride motorcycles at each other and try to like kill each other, but like most of the time they don't actually do. They just kind of wing each other and then everybody goes their separate ways. But yeah, there's like this one particularly like brutal battle that happens that puts one of the guys in the hospital.
Are they like jousting or playing chicken?
No. It's like they have like,
they're
like chasing each other with like fucking like iron bars and like baseball bats
Jesus
and shit.
Christ.
And then like the
it's
one
that video game Road Rash or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that, but like it's like elevated like by that because it's like you're like, okay, these are the characters I identify with, because everything else is just kind of like vague. And then there's this other subplot where there's these like children that have like aged horrifically, and they're kind of like psychic mediums, and like I can't really elaborate too much on that because I just
something fishy going on there.
Exactly, but it all ties together very nicely, and it's like it is a very bleak movie. I'm not saying you're gonna leave this movie feeling like, oh, that was like, but it's so good, it's like worth watching. If you could tolerate like that stuff, like it absolutely is definitely worth checking out. And I never thought I'd say that about anime anyway, because like I hate it for the most part.
It's a good one for like me and Tina because she's into that type of stuff, and we watched one series on Netflix called Doro Hidoro, which is like an anime. It's all right. It's I enjoyed it, but I just haven't finished it yet. I don't know. I never liked anime either, and then I watched Spirited Away, and I had the same feeling where I'm like, I didn't think I could like enjoy. Yeah. Because I thought anime was just like Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever the fuck. Like, there actually is like interesting.
There's a lot of it that's out there, but like there's always like there's a caveat of you being like a weeaboo. Like if you're just a casual, like people are like, oh, you're just an American that wants to like get into Japanese culture because you're attracted to Japanese chicks, and like you just want to like. It's like no, I don't. I
just like movies, man.
I just like dude. I'm just a dork. Like I want to learn as much as I can about a single subject, and it's like this is like scratched the itch of that. Like I don't need to go much further than this, but like it satiates what I need. If somebody like hits me with like a hey, like watch this, like I know it. Like Mark, on the other hand, Mark tried to get me to watch like the 4th installation of I think like Ghost in the Shell or something like that because they make movies, and he's like, dude, you got like I gotta fill you in. He talked my ear off for an hour before we even started watching the fucking movie, and then I'm just like, shut this the fuck off. I have no idea what's going on, and it's like such a fucking headache.
It's funny you said Ghost in the Shell because there's a rapper, ZZ Gibson, who has like multiple mixtapes called that, and it's weird that not weird, but anime is actually really popular in rap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rappers that like pump and you like that use the visuals in their music videos and like shit like hood black dudes from like New York and like LA and shit. Like y'all fucking love fucking
Well, like
Ghost in the Shell or fucking whatever.
there's Phi Life Cypher. He's like the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but he like shouts out fucking like Star Wars and shit all the fucking time.
That's dope.
Yeah, have you ever heard of him? Phi Life?
No, I have no idea.
Here, I'll put this on in the background. but you
Both dudes from the Underachievers always post, and even the Flatbush Zombies dudes post like pictures of fucking anime characters on their social media.
dude, like well, do you remember like all like the rage was like kung fu movies in like the late 70s and like early 80s, and like that was like when a lot of like the Wu-Tang Clan and like all the West Coast rappers, that was like when they were growing up, so they were like raised by television and all they're watching is like kung fu movies and shit.
Yeah,
so like a lot of like,
all those
like Wu-Tang's 36 Chambers
in the interludes and stuff.
Yeah. It's like it's very much like a like Asian culture. I don't know if Asian culture, but at least like kung fu and like, you know, fighting and like anime and shit like that always pops up in rap. And
Dude has it like in his music videos. It's like anime shit.
Here. And also, I fucking hate gorillas. I cannot stand. I cannot fucking stand
I
gorillas.
enjoyed the Gorillas
I hate
back
them.
in the day.
I hate them so fucking much.
I'm not like a huge fan, but
It's like you just want a bunch of stone kids to fucking like. You want a bunch of fucking dumb kids to fucking like hang around and be like. This is good though. And also, whoever's listening in their car right now, your subwoofers are going fucking crazy.
Is he British?
I have no idea. Sounds like it.
I fuck with British rappers. Shout out to Dirty Dyke.
But yeah, like I don't know. He just like he shouts out Star Wars and shit like that. Like that's the only song I really know by him. But he's talking about like skateboard moves and like he's like, when I do a skateboard trick, I do a tic tac. Like fucking, he's great. Like, but like I just like I can't. I don't have the patience to get into anime in the facet that a lot of my friends, like Mark does. He has all the time in the world, and he also collects Funko Pops. Like, I mean, I have no time for that. I'd rather gamble.
I feel that way about most genres of film. The only thing that I'm like really into, which is pretty lame, is I'm just super into like mob movies. So
I mean, but there's
that's
good
my own little niche.
I'll give you a recommendation then. Have you ever heard of the movie called State of Grace?
No.
Gary Oldman and John Turturro.
You write this down so I don't forget them this fucking week. Because you
John-
always recommend stuff, and then I
Yeah.
get home and I'm like, wait, what did he say? And then I text you, and you're like, I don't fucking know, dude.
I got this on a recommendation from Bill Burr's podcast too.
What was it called? State of Grace?
State of Grace, yeah. So Gary Oldman and I forget who the other fucking guy. It's Sean Penn, I think. I think it's Sean Penn.
Yeah,
But
it is Sean Penn.
So yeah, they're like in New York, and they're Irish guys that are like not mobsters, but they're just kind of like lowlifes and shit. Dude, there's like it goes from like 0 to 60 so fucking fast on like the mob shit and like how like brutal and violent things are. I don't know. I can't even.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it's just, if you like mob stuff, it's fucking worth checking out.
Cool.
There's a part where Gary, like in the very beginning, it's not spoiling anything, but like Gary Oldman's just got some guy's hand in a freezer and he's just like pointing it at fucking Sean Penn. He's just like trying to like hit him with it.
Hey,
and
can
shit.
you give me a hand over here?
Yeah, like, dude, yeah, exactly.
slapstick
Dude,
comedy.
Super, like, but like that unhinged shit that Gary Oldman's good at doing. So it's like, it just fucking shines. It's spectacular in this one, Joe Rogan.
Road to Perdition was fucking.
Yeah, that's another mob.
I think you had recommended it before, and I had a coworker back in the day. Shout out to Tim Finkbeiner. I think we mentioned him.
Stink Beaner.
Yeah, we mentioned him before. Shout out to Tim. It was awesome. I don't know why in my mind for some reason, just from the what's it called, the cover, not the preview, like the cover photo for the fucking
Yeah, like the little still or whatever.
yeah, the picture that they used for the, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank here, like the title photo. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
I don't know, cover photo.
I don't know why I thought because of that Tom Hanks was the cop in that movie. I guess I just couldn't picture Tom Hanks as like being a fucking bad guy or something. Like I thought, for some reason, I thought it was going to be Tom Hanks with the cop, like going after mob guys, and that's why I never.
Oh yeah, you didn't think of
watched
him
it.
as the heavy?
Yeah, and then I put it on, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's fucking killing everyone. This guy's a gangster.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be completely honest, like he is.
To be fair.
To be fair, like I liked fucking. Why can't I fucking ever think of his name? It's something like Cecil or whatever. The fucking photographer guy.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he's like the best part of that. It's a fucking.
And I called it. they go into that beach house at the end, and it just seemed like too good to be true. And I said out loud, whatever happened to the photographer? And then like 10 seconds later, Hanks takes one to the fucking back.
Yeah. That's like...
I was proud of myself. I was like, I fucking called it.
I called it! Fuck, why is this going to bother me so much? Well, Daniel Craig, I think, right?
I have no idea. I don't really know actors' names that well.
Cillian Murphy is the guy.
Tina didn't even know who Tom Hanks was.
Really?
Me and
How
her
the
dad were
fuck
like,
do
how
you
do you
not
not
know?
Yeah, she was like, is that the Forrest Gump guy? And
Yeah.
we're like, Tom Hanks? She's like, oh, I don't know actors. I'm like, you don't know fucking Tom Hanks? And then yesterday, we're reading it was a description for a movie, and she's like, Al Pacino? I'm like, oh my God. I thought that was so funny. She was embarrassed. That's a funny book.
That is
Like,
a book. That's a good book one.
That's a fucking good one. Al Pacino. I was like,
Pacino.
oh, what are you gonna watch? Goodfellas with Joe Pesci next and fucking Rob De Niro, like
Steve
Adam Sandler. I gotta just say,
Steve Scarpimpa. Dude, oh fuck, I was gonna ask you. Tom Hanks. So you know the conspiracy theory about Tom Hanks killing.
he's
people.
in.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's killing people.
No, he's killing people, man. That's the theory, at least.
Chet Hanks, Bomba Clot.
Bomba clot. I was raised by a Jamaican right on the beach.
He's so fucking cringe.
Oh, dude, he's so funny though. He's worth.
It's like it's good. It's
not a
fun.
bad actor either. He's in.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never seen him in anything other than like TMZ clips where he's like speaking in patois, and it's
Yeah.
like, what are you fucking doing, dude?
He's in that show Marin that I've referenced. He's in the 4th season of Marin where Marin's in rehab because he relapses, and he goes there and Chet Hanks is his roommate, and he's
I
like,
think I actually saw that episode.
dude, he's really good. He's really fucking good. He's not a bad actor at all, and he definitely has the same licks as his dad, I guess, but he still has the daddy issues and like resents his dad. So like, that's honestly what I take from it. I'm not accusing or anything, but like it just seems like my dad wasn't there enough. I was raised by servants, so now I'm a wigger. Like that's how
Makes
it works
sense.
out. Yeah, exactly. Like
I didn't know that angle of it. I thought he was just being
like obnoxious.
annoying. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he is obnoxious, but like, but yeah.
So he really was raised by like Jamaican fucking.
No, he was just raised by like housekeepers, but like he was like, from what I understand, him and Colin were both like taken care of, like they weren't like left to their own devices by any means. But yeah, he started speaking patois because he dated a Jamaican chick, and like for like a week, and then was like, yeah, I started hanging out with this chick and she talks like this, so I looked up what Jamaican culture is all about, and now I'm a badass.
That's probably just fucking doing that for
shock value.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
in the fucking headlines,
getting attention. Yeah. But okay, Tom
Any
Hanks.
press is good press.
Tom Hanks, though. Tom Hanks is tied into the Isaac Cappy case. Do you remember Isaac Cappy?
I've never heard of him.
Isaac Cappy was this dude. He's like an actor and a comedian. Like I don't know. He's obviously like not like on our lexicon for the comedy bit, but like I just know that he's a comedian. He's been on comedy shows and stuff like that. So he
Look up a picture of him.
killed himself a couple years. He kind of looks like a mixture between like Sam Roberts and
Boo.
fucking D'Elia. He looks like D'Elia and Sam Roberts had.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like he's so he killed himself. Yeah, right.
Sam Roberts and Chris D'Elia. You probably know who Chris D'Elia is, but most of you probably don't know who fucking
we got some-
shitty Sam Roberts
Got
is.
some wrestling fans out there.
Seamer and those guys might, but I meant our local buddies probably don't know who
Yeah, I
Sam
have no
Roberts
idea who he is. But hey, watch SmackDown and look for the guy that looks like he doesn't. He's the
Like
most
Einstein fucking.
the fucking soggy Muppet, as Norman calls him. He is. He's a soggy Muppet.
But stinks.
So Isaac Cappy was like his actor dude.
The last professional broadcaster.
He went on a live stream, like on his phone, and said like a whole bunch of things. He called Seth Green out. He said Seth Green's a pedophile. He said that
See the guy, the little redhead dude?
Seth Green, yeah, Dr. Evil's son.
He was in fucking the Italian Job. He was the hacker.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Chris's voice on Family Guy. So Isaac Cappy calls out Seth Green, says Seth Green's a pedophile. Seth Green's like whatever. And then he's like fucking Tom Hanks too. Tom Hanks eats and kills and eats babies. And like everybody's like, oh, whatever you're saying is for shock value. He's like, I'm telling you right now, if somebody says I'm gonna kill myself or I do kill myself, it's not that. I was murdered. And then like it was like an hour-long stream, and he says all of this shit. And then there's like some weird postings that happened subsequently about like a brothel, like you know what a Turkish bathhouse looks like?
No.
It's like the places where it's like you have like marble or tile floor.
schwitz.
Yeah, like a schwitz, and it's like there's like a fountain in the middle. Well, there was this video that surfaced that allegedly Isaac Cappy had taken, and there's never been anything to connect the two from him to that video. But it was right around the time that Isaac Cappy killed himself, and this video comes out of all these like very young kids working at like a Turkish bathhouse, and it's very heavily implicated that like, oh, and there's like a syringe too.
Tom Hanks' #1 hangout.
Not even like Tom Hanks' #1 hangout, but there's like a syringe off screen, like he kind of pans and there's like a little syringe there, meaning that like it's very heavily implicated that these girls are drugged or like these kids are drugged or whatever. So that video surfaces, 4chan tears it apart, and then like 2 hours later, Isaac Cappy's reported dead. But they said that he jumped off an overpass onto a road that is a part of Route 66, like out west.
Route 666.
So Isaac Cappy dies. Tom Hanks is in the area. Like, I forget if it was at the same time or like slightly before that, but he posts a picture of a glove on Route 66 and says, "Shame to see when you see him like scraped along the road like that," or something. Yeah, go on Tom Hanks' Instagram. There's a lot of these pictures of gloves. Yeah, it's all these pictures of gloves, and it's like they say he's got like if you want, just Google like Tom Hanks gloves and like weird, like, because it was like very suspicious that it was like the same day as like Isaac Cappy dying, and then like Isaac Cappy's like, yeah, Tom Hanks it kills and eats babies, and then like Isaac Cappy says, I'm not going to kill myself, but then was seen like being escorted over the railing of this overpass.
It says, "My car, yes, but I ran over no one, Hanks."
Yeah, isn't that fucking weird?
And
there's a bunch of them, like a whole bunch of them.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so
and
like
that was in the same time period.
No, there's a whole bunch of them. Like there's one that was on Route 66, like the day that Isaac Cappy died, and they were like, yeah, he called out Tom Hanks for being a pedophile, and then like Tom Hanks is in the same area as fucking like not like on like the fucking, like he wasn't across the street or whatever, but like he was in the same area as like very, 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 very suspicious. I'm not saying that his accusations are accurate. I mean, it probably could happen. Like it's plausible, but like I don't believe
the one from May is gone. He killed himself in May.
Yeah,
he must have erased that one.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty fucking
creepy.
Pretty fucking creepy, man. But yeah, fucking that was right around the fucking time Pizzagate was going on too, so it was like very much part of the Podesta and James Alefantis guy. That was all tied into it too, so like that like kind of got overshadowed by fucking Podesta and Alefantis and those guys.
Fucking elephants.
No, it means
I don't know what Alefantis is.
Alefantis is this guy, and he's somehow tied to Pizzagate with Comet Ping Pong, and I think like the Finders Colts, those kind of shits. He this guy's name literally in French means child lover, and like that's
what's his name?
Alefantis. Like, but if you spell it the French way, it's like L'Enfantes, which means like l'enfance means like you love kids. Or like, yeah, it's very fucking weird. Or I think that means the kids or something like. Someone fucking broke it down how his name equals fucking kid lover or whatever, but it's fucking weird. Testimonials were like, we would go to the church.
Epstein Island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, now that you know things like Epstein Island exist, it's kind of like...
It's probably just one of many.
One of thousands.
Oh,
one
shit.
Of thousands, dude. Like, one of
That's
thousands.
wild. He's just the one...
He's the one that got caught.
To know.
Dude, it's like you ever seen The Big Short, that movie?
No.
Adam McKay movie? Oh, do you have a Blu-ray player?
No.
It's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube with ads, but it's about the 2008 financial crisis when the housing market bubble burst, and it was like all the people that were just slightly autistic enough to see it coming, and it's like about that. Really fucking good movie though, and it's made by the guy that made like Step Brothers and like all those like Seth Rogen comedies.
Yeah.
Like, so Adam McKay makes this movie, and then like
I was trying to look up the glove pictures, and it's error 404 not found.
You, man.
That's what I was looking up before. Dude, Tom Hanks is fucking...
He's into some shit. Well, okay, but I'll finish on this, or not finish, but like I'll finish whatever the fuck I was talking.
Topic.
Yeah, this topic. What was the fucking
the Adam McKay, The Big Short?
Yeah. So the thing was at the end, you were like expecting all these like financial institutions to like go down in flames, which they kind of did, but they were all bailed out by fucking Bush and Obama.
Yeah.
Everybody says it's Bush. It's fucking Obama. Obama was the one that fucking.
Oh,
did
bummer.
Oh, bummer. But yeah. So fucking. Jesus.
Just saving you some editing.
Yeah,
Just
thank
censor
you.
myself.
I was thinking about getting a soundboard so we could just have a beep, and then we could put it in the middle and just the whole fucking hour and a half.
You have to censor our mouths.
Yeah. So the punctuation of the movie is that like all these guys should have gone down, but ultimately only one guy went down for the entirety of the housing crisis, like that, all of that fucking misinformation and like mortgage manipulation and shit like that. And he didn't even really do time. He got like 2 years, I think, in like a fucking white collar, country club prison.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
I was
like,
gonna say country club.
but that's like, I mean, it's a little more harsh than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and whatnot, but like they're the ones that got caught. They're the ones that they put in the forefront. But there are so many more out
just
there.
the fall guy, probably.
They're the
It's just
fall
a little-
guys. That's exactly it.
Just a little taste.
This
but
human trafficking shit is like so disgusting and it's so broad reaching, and that's why like that Ghislaine Maxwell shit is so crazy. Her father was Mossad. She inherited Mossad assets to like fucking basically fuck with people like Epstein, like who were like, hey, you're financially well off and like you have a penchant for younger chicks. Like
What's the Mossad?
we've talked about this before, but it's the CIA from Israel.
Yeah, I
and they're
thought
the-
it was the Jewish fucking.
Yeah, they're the ones that like if you ever see the movie Munich, it was like about all the fucking bomb that went off at the Olympics, and then like all the fucking Israeli Mossad guys going and trying to like hunt down the people that set the bomb off. Pretty
I
good
have
movie.
a particular set of skills.
Yeah, it's
I will
not-
find you. I will kill you.
But yeah, the
Liam
Mossad,
Neeson.
Mossad are like CIA, but they operate with a little more impunity. I don't know how much of this I can actually use, because not that like I'm afraid of it. It's just like I don't know how much I actually am getting right of the Mossad shit. But like
That's fine.
There's-
If you're getting info from this podcast. you should
like,
fucking kill
you
yourself.
should probably be googling everything we
Look
say.
that up, Jamie.
Yeah.
Bent penis. I started my fucking deranged idea for podcast content. I was like, I'm gonna start The Sopranos over, and
That's you just wanted to do that anyway.
well, I couldn't pick a fucking random episode last night, so I was like, I'm gonna start over. I've seen the pilot like 100 times because I've started it with the intention of finishing the series. I never do because I've seen it so many fucking times. But
Yeah.
I chuckled because he's in the office with Melfi, and he's like, I had a dream, and there was a screw in my belly button, and I start undoing the screw, and then my penis falls off. And I was just, the way he said my penis, I was just like, Joseph Penis here.
Yeah, Joseph Penis here. Well, I told you that David Chaser, like Nick DiPaolo talked about this when he had that show on Sirius, but he was like, David Chase originally wrote The Sopranos to be like it's supposed to be the same like diegetic realm that it exists in. Like it's supposed to still be like North Jersey mob family, but it was supposed to be a little more comedic. Like, and I don't know if
That's
it was
why the first episode is kind of like
it's
slapstick with
it's
the
very
AK
yeah with
and the fucking
and like there's so many fucking like the ducks where he's like very like, man, I love the fucking ducks, and then like it just becomes a non-issue like because he has the daydream about the ducks being back or whatever, but it was like he's like so much colder about like the whole topic than I don't know. I would just I would have I'm very curious to like because obviously you can't do anything about it now, but like there's also they're gonna make that fucking new fucking I guess they're springboarding Many Saints in Newark into a
I haven't heard that. People in the Sopranos group say they want it, and other people
yeah.
say they don't. But I don't think that's.
it's not happening yet.
I don't know.
I
haven't heard
rumor-
anything official. Yeah, I've heard the
I've
rumors.
heard
but
rumors. That's
I
about
wouldn't
it.
be opposed to it.
But yeah, like
My thing with the news, I think I've said it on here before, but the new Sopranos movie, and if any forthcoming projects, it's just you have to look at it through the lens of it's never going to be as good as the Sopranos, but like
yeah, Gandolfini croaked. Like,
yeah,
you
it's
can't-
just not. Even if they were to redo the Sopranos with Gandolfini, it wouldn't be the same. People would probably still bitch about that if he was still alive. You know what I mean? They'd be like, they should have never fucking redone it. Da da da.
Yeah.
There's people like that where they don't think you should touch the original.
Yeah, like I mean, if it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like there's no.
But I'm not. If they were to make a series, I wouldn't look at it to be as good. I just think it would be interesting to explore different
Yeah.
characters and
Well, I'll give you this, and this is kind of like the thing that I find very funny about like the current way that media is like disseminated and transmitted, and like how people like our age especially interpret it. It's like you remember how everybody less than a year ago was like getting Baby Yoda tattoos and like they're fucking obsessed with like
Joe loves Baby Yoda.
Fucking hate Baby
Send in
Yoda.
some Baby Yoda
Dude,
merch.
fucking
We'll
kill
fucking
it.
put it on the.
I'll tell you what, light it
the
on
set.
light it on fire, and then send it to me, and I might consider.
I just got a good idea.
What do you
show
want?
up next week wearing a fucking Baby Yoda t-shirt.
Baby Yoda onesie.
Just a Baby Yoda
dick hanging out.
costume. My little Baby Yoda fucking hanging
Yeah,
out.
you say nothing else, just a Baby Yoda on your crotch, like Borat's bathing
Tony,
suit.
this Baby Yoda looks like a hooker.
So I just remember that like there's people that rushed out to go get fucking Mandalorian tattoos and like Mandalorian fucking shit, and like everybody's fucking dick riding.
Billy Bear.
Billy Bear.
Wasn't he in that?
Yeah, he was in it for a couple episodes. But I never watched it because I don't have Disney Plus, and I will not give Disney any of my money because they are Satan, and I don't like them. But they
I have Disney Plus.
But yeah, dude, there's like a second season of Mandalorian that came out. Nobody cared, and now there's a Boba Fett movie coming out. And everybody, like, nobody cares. Like, it's just, like, everybody...
I'm sure it'll generate revenue for them regardless.
Well, actually, Disney's, like, fucking making... They're claiming that, like, the Star Wars, ever since the acquisition, because they're trying to milk it for everything it's worth and expanding on shit that nobody really cares about.
Yeah, it's, like, been done.
Oh, dude, it's fucking
flub.
hemorrhaging money. Like, apparently, it's, like,
Fuck 'em.
really... that's just it. I was like, George Lucas tried, and he realized that, like he kind of was, like, stuck and had to commit. And, like... understandable, but he was like, wait a minute, they want more Star Wars and I can completely walk away from the thing with like $2 billion. Fucking sold.
We'll have to deal with these crazy Star Wars fanatics.
Dude, exactly.
It's the same with like Sopranos fans, where people overanalyze the fuck out of everything to death. Like I'm sure Star Wars people are like the same way, where you can't really please Star Wars fans.
Way
like,
worse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I have a Star Wars tattoo, and this is the one that I want to get covered up the most. Like, I fucking hate that, like, Disney... Like, 'cause now I feel like I'm going to have to eventually give them fucking royalties for that shit. Like,
it's funny because I'm not a Star Wars dude. I think I saw the first one once when I was a kid. I just
you mean
really,
Episode 4 or Phantom Menace?
I don't fucking... like
the new one or, like, the original
1970s? Okay. Fucking Luke, I am your father. Fucking...
Yeah. No, that's
that's
Empire
good.
Strikes Back. That's not the original one.
I don't know. I saw the original one with my grandpa when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I didn't hate it, but like I'm just not I'm not into sci-fi or fantasy or really any of that shit. But
that's fair.
I don't associate that tattoo with Star Wars. Like it just looks like a cool fucking like rock band logo.
White power tattoo.
No. I don't affiliate it with your Nazism, but
well,
when I post pictures of you on Snapchat or like on anything, I'll get like 2 texts from random people being like, "Is that a fucking Star Wars tattoo?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like I always just forget that it's a Star Wars logo. Like
what do they ask about the tattoo on my face? I got kissed by Mikhail Gorbachev as a baby.
Have you ever thought about making that into like a fucking tattoo?
Fuck no.
Fucking make it like a wine glass spilled next to your eye.
You know, that is actually pretty funny. I know people do that shit because it's called Sturge-Weber's disease. It's like hemangioma is what the thing's called, but it's Sturge-Weber's disease. And there are people that I know that have it like other places on their body.
And I've seen the wine glass.
Yeah, I've seen that. And then like
on your face, it might not be a good move.
I mean, it would be funny to make like a little wine glass teardrop tattoo.
Killed fucking 10 bottles of wine.
Killed so many Frenchmen. It's what the guy...
Bert Kreischer, I kill fucking 10 bottles of wine a day. That's wine bottle teardrop. I love when he's on Two Bears and he talks about how he's like, I didn't drink last night. I only had like 3 bottles of wine while I was on the treadmill.
Oh my god.
Tom's like,
drinking on the treadmill is so fucking funny too. Just imagine that human being just trucking along on a treadmill just with a fucking what's the fucking wine he drinks too? Because it's like that Fit Vine or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like he's like fucking
it's low calorie, dude.
It's low calorie.
Rehydrating. Fucking wasted. I had a buddy back in like 10 years ago, and he was a runner, a jogger, whatever, and he swore that like if he drank a bottle of wine before he ran, he would perform better and he was able to run longer.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fucking insane.
Imagine if he tried smoking crack.
I've drank and done physical activities like played roller hockey and fucking ice hockey, and like I can't exercise while drinking. It sucks. I don't know. He was like that. That was his Mickey Mantle gene. Right? He was just like, let me fucking guzzle some Franzia and get out there.
There's this old
guy. He
guy
would do like 5 miles in a clip, like wine drunk.
There's this old guy that used to fucking, I would see him drinking in his car before the fucking fitness center at Hofstra would open up. He would be out there with a coffee cup pouring fucking liquor into it.
Only way I can fucking get
and then
set.
he'd be in there and fucking like walking around the track, and like I'd be running laps, so he would just be walking significantly slower. And I'd buzz him, and once in a while, like, because it was like a real short circuit, so you could like turn the corner and like look over and see like I would just buzz him, and he wouldn't have even reacted by the time I hit the corner and looked back. He would just be like whoa.
I just had to get away from the missus, fucking have a few cocktails.
Yeah,
I'm working out, hon.
Had a few drinks, saw some shit. How we doing? I got like 2 minutes. What do you got to plug?
Just flew by. Nothing, just my butt.
Well, yeah. So
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
wait, we got there's one more that I watched. I watched one more movie, and I thought it would be fun to talk about this. But if you haven't seen it, Moon with Sam Rockwell. He's the guy.
Never even heard of it.
Sam Rockwell's the guy from.
Put this one on my queue as well.
No, it's not. I mean, you can. It's just it's stupid. I'm gonna blow it for you anyway, and I'm gonna spoiler alert.
I don't want to watch it now.
No, I'm telling you, it's very stupid. But Sam Rockwell's the guy that does Vic's voice in F is for Family. It's that guy.
Yeah. Didn't they get rid of him off the last season? Or
No,
something?
he's still in it.
Oh,
He's just
okay.
a father, and he's like
He's mellowed out Vic.
yeah, like I don't know.
I remember that being your gripe.
Yeah, that's fucking. But Sam Rockwell is an astronaut, or like so you think, and he lives on the moon, where they figured out which like is the most inefficient way of fucking harvesting any kind of fuel, like or natural resource to use as like fuel or energy or whatever. They're harvesting energy from the moon to send back to Earth to power the power grids. Which, sure, if you can get to the moon to harvest shit, shouldn't we just be like fucking harvesting like I don't
Fucking
know,
Elon Musk or something.
Solar energy, like tether a fucking solar panel that's the size of the fucking moon or whatever, and just fucking do that. I don't know. It was a completely like that lapse in logic right there was where like sci-fi fails for me. It falls flat because I'm like, why are you flying to? It's like I'm buying. It's like.
I hate the defense when you ask logical questions like this in a movie and someone's like, oh, because it's a movie. And it's like,
no, that's fucking
no.
stupid.
Yes.
Like, it's so stupid. And on top of that, the way they even get to getting the thing that harvests it is inefficient too. They have to get into a lunar rover and drive into these big automated harvesting machines. It's like, it's the future. They would have just fucking had those things on like it would just know where to go and dock and then disload it so that there's like, it's completely automated and like the minimum amount of maintenance. But no,
They're out there with
fucking
a tom-tom.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like the fucking whole point of the he crashes the lunar rover and then he's injured, and then because he's injured he wakes up in the infirmary, but it turns out it's not him. He's a clone, and the whole space station is just a harvesting thing for clones, and it's two clones slowly realizing that they're clones, and then one escapes and then goes back home to see, because the guy they base the clone off of is like an actual guy with actual children and like actual like it's a real person, and like they figure out that like if they keep these clones in an isolated environment until they work themselves to death or like they just become obsolete after I think like 2 years or whatever, then it just is like one of the most brutally fucking dumb movies I've ever fucking seen.
There was a Will Smith one about kind of like clones, where like the younger version of himself, and he's like a hitman, and he's like battling the younger version of himself, and then there's like clone number 3, and there's like all these Will Smith clones that
Yeah, it's so fucking. It's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen.